Classification of visitors users of archives in the post-Soviet space. Commercial genealogist, type, businessman, the most aggressive user. Aggressiveness is perfectly legal for any entrepreneur who wants to increase their profits. Most often they are competent in their field. Furious remote control for uncontrolled self-photocopying because this seriously increases our minimum profit. Researcher of one's own ancestry. Type, collector. The degree of aggressiveness depends on the emotionality and the presence of thematic genealogical internet resources. Competence is uncertain. Unsupervised self-photocopying is encouraged, but provides only moral support, since only a small number of people are required to copy documents. Sometimes, after a successful genealogical search, it goes into the first characteristic. Capital scientist. Type, scientist. Not aggressive. Prefers to maintain U.S. relations with archive staff, most often based on personal contacts. Competent, so the archive is visited exclusively by utilitarian criminals. The time spent working with the character's documents is paid with caution. Uncontrolled self-photocopying approves of cleanliness, since practically it is not at all interested in it. Provincial scientist type, scientist, not aggressive. Before arriving at the archive, they try to establish European relations with the archive staff, most often based on personal contacts. Not always competent, but always utilitarian, as he is limited in time and financial resources. Uncontrolled independent photocopying would usually be the case, but he's not up to that at all. Sometimes transition to third form. Local historian. Type, collector. The degree of aggressiveness depends on the emotional state. Incompetent, but selflessly passionate. Confirmation of the validity of groundless judgments is often categorically required. Uncontrolled, independent photocopying would usually be the case, but he's not up to that at all. Amateur researcher, type collector, not aggressive. Most often they are competent, unselfish hobbies, not at all utilitarian. Very often he is the object of a serious appointment by an archive employee, although he is not specifically looking for him. Uncontrolled independent photocopying simply does not understand. Graduate student botanist, type, scientist. Not aggressive, not utilitarian. Wants to be competent. Hopes to contribute to science. It endures all archival difficulties with steadfastness. Sometimes support and advice from the archive are provided by the personal connections of its scientific director. He simply does not need uncontrolled independent photocopying. Pragmatist graduate student, type, businessman, not aggressive, purely utilitarian. Competence is considered erroneous. He is not looking for connections or support. Visits the archive and orders 10 cases solely to give credibility to his own dissertation. He simply does not need uncontrolled independent photocopying.